Hey guys, this is the next video to go over your study guide for your volume test on Friday. So this video is going to look at the second page of your study guide. We're going to start with number 7. Again, you can watch the whole video just to see, make sure you're doing everything correct, or you can just, zoom through, fast forward to whatever parts you need to go over. Okay? So let's look at number 7. A cereal box has the shape of a rectangular prism. It is 12 inches high and 4 inches long. The cereal box can hold 96 inches cubed. What is the width of the cereal box? Show your work. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write the formula for volume because I know that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to sing my song, V-O-L-U-M-E, length times width times height, E-Z. Okay? The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my problem. I'm going to underline what I need to know. Okay? So, I know that the height is 12 inches. I know that the length is 4 inches. And I know that the volume is 96 inches cubed. So what I'm trying to find is that width. So now I'm going to fill out my formula based on what information they give me. So the volume was 96. My length was 4. I don't have my width. And then my height was 12. Okay? Now, this is just like what we went over yesterday in class. So I'm going to figure out what is it that I can solve first. Well, I can solve 4 times 12. And I know that 4 times 12 is 48. So this is 48 times my width equals 96, equals my volume. So now I have to ask myself, what number times 48 is going to give me a volume of 96? And there are a couple different ways we can solve this. We can go over here, we can do division, 48 into 96, right? I can go into it, well, I know I can go into it one time. So I can do 48, subtract it out, make that an 8, 16 is an 8. Looky there, that's 48. So I can put it in one more time, and that gives me my smiley face 0. So my answer would be 2. If division isn't your thing, well then let's do multiplication. Let's look over here. So I would say 48 times some number is going to give me 96. Remember that trick that I was showing you guys yesterday, right? Look at the ones place down here, 6. I have to do 8 times some number to give me an answer with 6 in the ones place. The first one that comes to mind is 8 times 2, because 8 times 2 is 16. So that's what I'm going to try. So I'm going to put a 2 here. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry my 1. I've already got the 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Boom. That's the answer I'm looking for. Either method will work. Division, multiplication. You do what works for you. But what we do know is that our width is going to be 2. But not just 2, right? There are words in our problem. There are words in our answers. This is 2 inches. And I'm going to circle that so that Miss Ross doesn't have a hard time finding my answer. Okay? So that's how we would do number 6. Let's move on to that's number 7. Let's move on to number 8. Find the volume of the figure. All right, so let me look at what I've got. I've got a 3-dimensional rectangular prism. I see that they've given me the height, they've given me the length, and they've given me the width. So I'm going to start off with my formula for volume. V-O-L-U-M-E, length times width times height, E-Z. Let's go ahead and fill it in. Length is 5, width is 3, height is 4. All I have to do now is multiply. Let's find the easiest way to multiply. Well, I see a 5 and a 4, and I know 5 times 4 is 20. So I'm going to go ahead and do 20 times 3. I did that because this is something that I can easily do in my head. 20 times 3, 2 times 3 is 6, add that 0 on, 60. So my answer is 60 centimeters cubed. Okay, you could also find yourself the base. You could see that I've got 5 by 3, so my base is 15. So you could add your base. 15 plus 15 is 30, plus 15 again is 45, plus 15 again gives you your 60. Either way works, all right? Let's move on to number 9. That composite figure, right? We've been chopping those composite figures today as we've been our ninja warriors. So I'm going to put my ninja bandana on so I can chop correctly. All right, here we go. I am now a ninja. I'm going to be chopping. Lucky for me, they've actually already done a little piece of the work. They've already chopped it for me. But you know, we can go ahead and chop that too if we want. So we've taken this composite figure, we've split it up into two rectangular prisms, which we can use easily. Again, we have to split them up because we need to be able to use that formula. Let's just write the formula real quick. VOLUME, length times width times height, EZ. Okay, so I'm going to label this one A, and I'm going to label this one B. It just helps me out to label them. You don't have to, but I like to keep all my work organized. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the volume for A, for that first prism. Okay? So let's figure out what I know. Well, I know the length is 4 because it says it right here. I know the width is, well, what is the width? It's not labeled here, it's not labeled here, it's not labeled here, and it's not labeled here. So does it mean that they haven't given me the width? No, they've given me the width. I just have to go and look a little bit further. So what I'm now looking for is I'm looking for a line that's parallel to this one, that goes in the same direction. Well, if I come down here to my B shape, they've labeled the width of the B shape right here. They said it's 6 centimeters. If it's 6 centimeters here, then it has to be 6 centimeters here. And if it's 6 centimeters here, then wouldn't it make sense that it's also 6 centimeters here? Since this is sitting on top of this one, they would have the same width. So this width I know is also 6 centimeters. So I'm going to put that into my formula. And then my height of A, and the height of A is also 4. So let's find the volume of A. 4 times, I don't know, what do you want to do? 4 times 6 is 24, times 4, 24 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16, carry the 1, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So that is 96 centimeters cubed. That's my volume for A. Now I have to find my volume for B. Okay, still using my formula, length times width times height. Let's figure it out. My length is 10 centimeters. They went ahead and labeled it for me. My width, we've already figured that out, that's 6 centimeters. And my height is 4 centimeters. 10 times 6, 60, times 4. 6 times 4 is 24, and add your 0, 240 centimeters cubed. That's my volume for B. To find the volume of the figure, the composite figure, right? It's tricky. It's trying to trick us, but we're not going to let it because we're Ninja Warriors, right? So I have to add my two volumes together. So I'm going to take 240 plus 96. 0 plus 6 is 6. 9 plus 4 is 13. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my total volume is 336 centimeters cubed. It's a lot of work for this problem, right? If you have big handwriting, I would suggest doing this problem on another sheet of paper. Don't get confused. If you start to get sloppy, you're going to miss a number. It's going to mess your math up. Make sure that your math stays organized as you're solving it. All right, so that's how we find our volume for our composite figure. All right, whew. Good thing I had my Ninja Warrior practice for that one. Let's go on to number 10. The dimensions of the base are unknown. The volume of the figure is 36 feet cubed. If the height is 3 feet, what is the area of the base? All right. I think I can solve this one, but it's a bit different than what I've seen in class. So let me use what I know about volume. Okay? The volume of the figure is 36 feet cubed. Well, what's the formula for volume? VOLUME, length times width times height, EZ. If the height is 3 feet, what is the area of the base? Well, my formula is length times width times height. But I know that the area of the base is the same thing as length times width. So I can call this base times height. Remember, that's our second formula from that first page. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to substitute what I know into my problem. So I know that the volume is 36 feet. I don't know the base. That's what I'm looking for, so I'll keep that as my big B. but I do know that the height is 3 feet. So I have to figure out what number times 3 gives me an answer of 36. Again, a couple ways we could do this. We could divide. We could say 3 into 36, right? If I know my math facts, then I know that 3 times 12 gives me 36. So I could subtract it out and get my smiley face 0. Okay, you could also try it with multiplication. 3 times some number is going to give me 36. Well, what number times 3 would give me that 6? Well, I know it's going to be a 2, but I know that 3 times 2 is just 6, so that's not going to work. So let's go to the next number that has a 2 in it, and that would be the number 12. And that's going to give me the answer 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 1, 3, 36. You could also have just known your math facts, and you could have known 3 times 12 equals 36. Whatever way you do it, we come to the same conclusion, which is that the area of the base is 12. It doesn't ask you for length and width, so you don't have to figure that out. You just have to know that this piece here is 12 feet squared. And it's squared because it's talking about the area. Okay? All right, we're almost done with this page. We only got 3 more, so let's move down here to our chart. I'm going to move this just a little bit. All right, so this chart, let's look at the directions. For questions 11 through 13, complete the table with the correct measurements. So let's look at number 11. I'm missing my length, but I've got a width of 6, a height of 3, and a volume of 126. So I'm actually going to come down here to my board, and I'm going to write on my board because I need a little bit more room. Remember, this board is like your scratch paper, okay? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the formula for volume. V-O-L-U-M-E, length times width times height, easy. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in what I know. Back to our chart. Length I'm missing. Width is 6, height is 3, okay? So my width is 6, my height is 3, I'm missing my length, and the volume is 126. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is solve what I can. 6 times 3 gives me 18. L times 18 equals 126. Okay? So again, you can solve this in a couple ways. You can come over here. You can do 18 into 126. You can do division. It's kind of hard to read. Or what I like to do is I'm going to do that multiplication. Again, it's because a lot of people find it easier to do multiplication than division. So I'm going to say 18 times some number is going to give me 126. All right? So again, I'm going to look at that ones place, 6. What number times 8 is going to give me an answer with a ones digit of 6? Well, the first one comes to mind is 2. 16. So let's try that one. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry your 1, put your 6. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. That one didn't work. All right, let's think of another. Not 3, not 4, 5, no, 6, 7. Well, 7 times 8 is 56. Okay, well, that will give me a 6, so let's try that one. 7 times 8, 56, carry your 5, put your 6 down here. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. Ah, don't you love it when it works out that way? So our length is 7. But it's not just 7, right? We have to look at those units. So our length is 7 feet. Just to double check it, I'm going to do my math. Length times width times height. 7 times 6 is 42, times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Yep, good. All right, so I solved it correctly. Awesome. Let's do the same thing for number 12. I'm given the length of 10, a width of 3, and a height of 5. So what I'm trying to find is the volume. All right, so let's do some math. First thing I'm going to write down is my formula. Volume equals length times width times height. I don't know volume. My length is 10. My width is 3. My height is 5. You can multiply this in different ways. I'm going to go ahead and multiply 3 times 5 to get me 15. 10 times 15. Well, I know that I can do 1 times 15, which would give me 15, and then add that 0 on the end. Oops, where did it go? There it is. So I get an answer of 150. But it's not just 150, right? I've got to look at my units. So it's going to be 150, talking about feet, talking about volume, cubed. 150 feet cubed. That one was pretty simple. It's what we've been doing. All right, for our last one, length, width, missing height, but I do have my volume. Okay? So, again, same thing that I've been doing. I'm going to start with my formula. V-O-L-U-M-E, length times width times height, E-Z. And I'm just going to fill in what I know. So let's see, my volume was 56. My length was 4. My width of 7. And I'm missing height, so I'm going to keep that as my H. Let's solve what we can first. 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Times my height is going to give me a volume of 56. 28 times what equals 56. Okay? Again, I'm going to use multiplication. You could divide. You could say 28 into 56. You could figure it out that way. I'm going to use my multiplication trick. So 28 times some number is going to give me an answer of 56. We keep having these 8s and 6, don't we? That helps us out a little bit. So again, I'm looking at that ones digit number 6. What number times 8 will give me 6 in the ones place? First one I think of is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry my 1, write down my 6. 2 times 2 is 4, add 1 is 5. Boom, it's the answer. First one we tried, right? Love playing that game, love getting it on my first try. So, 2 is my answer, but not just 2, right? I got to come back over here, and I'm talking about 2 feet. All right, so we did it. We have finished page 2 of our study guide. Hopefully you got all the answers right. If you missed some, you can now understand after going through and watching me do it. Make sure you go back, practice it again, find your mistake, figure out what can you do better next time so you don't make the same mistake. All right? I'll post the next video soon, and it'll have the next page of our study guide. All right?